Hi, this is the third part of the raw material chapter, which is store ledger and issuing process. So before I go into the store ledger part, I'll try to explain the process of how store or how warehouse is issuing the stock to the production department. So let's assume we do have a store and we have a production department. Right? So store will receive the goods from the supplier. And then store will issue the goods to the production department. Yes? So this is what we call as issue, and this is what we call as receipt. Mean the quantity which we are receiving from supplier and the quantity which we are issuing to the production department. So once they receive the goods, once they receive the raw material, production department will start do the manufacturing. Yes. So then what they will do is, if there are any damage, the production department will send back to the store. Production department will send back to the store. So that is what we call the return. And then store will return back that specific stocks to the what you call supplier. So this is the entire process. Store is purchasing and then they are moving or they are transferring the production department. Production department do manufacturing, and if there are any damaged raw material, they will send back to the store. So this store will maintain something called store ledger. So who is preparing store ledger? Storekeeper. Right? Production department. So what they will prepare? Production department will prepare manufacturing account. Who will prepare? The accountant. So if we relate manufacturing account chapter, we do have raw material consumption, then we have direct labor and direct other costs, then we will arrive at prime cost, then we do have production overheads, right? So this part is about the raw material consumption. So if we take production or manufacturing account, we have raw material part where we have opening stock, then we have purchase, then we have purchase return, and we have the closing stock. And we'll get something called raw material consumed. We'll add purchase, we'll return purchase return, and we'll have closing stock. Right? So this is what we studied in manufacturing account chapter, right? Store ledger is part of the chapter. As what I told earlier, we have two methods to prepare the store ledger. First one is FIFO, first in, first out, and the second one is weighted average method, WAM. So this is the entire picture of the chapter, mean how store works, store ledger and storekeeper, what he prepares, and how production department works. So they are receiving and manufacturing account, accountant is preparing it, and this is the part of the manufacturing account which is related to the raw material. Now you should understand, store should have some stock. At the same time, production department also will have some stock, right? Store will have some stock which is received from the supplier, then they are issuing to the production department. Out of that stock, some will be used for the consumption or some will be used for the manufacturing, remaining will be there. So they also will have stock. So that understanding you should have like store ledger is different and manufacturing account is different. Whatever we are issuing to the production department is considered as what? Is considered as purchase for the production department. So that point is very important. Purchase in production department or in manufacturing accounts means the total issue from the store, not this one. So this is the purchase for whom? Store. Do we prepare or does he prepare any accounts? No. He just prepare only what? Only store ledger. And not any final accounts. So final account will prepare by accountant who is there in the manufacturing department or production department, and he has different stock, different purchase and purchase return. For the manufacturing department, purchase mean the issue from the store. So what is purchase return? This one. The return from the production department. So I would say this as purchase return in manufacturing. This one I would say return to supplier. Right. So I can say these as purchase for production. Other than this, what you should understand is like the quantity which store is receiving is called as what? It is EOQ or ROQ, because you should know the meaning of EOQ. EOQ means what? The number of quantity they are purchasing in each order with the least cost. So this is what we call as purchase. So we will have like 3-4 orders here which is purchased by the store. So that is what we call as EOQ or reorder quantity. So in question they may ask to find EOQ or reorder quantity using the store ledger as well. Right? So we will have question for that. So when I am discussing the question, I will try to explain how it actually works. Yes? So store, production department, and how return works. So here production department is returning, at the same time store also returning. So what does this mean? This issue means the purchase for the production department, because accountant will be here, not here. For accountant, he knows only what he is receiving or what manufacturing department is receiving. He doesn't know about this. So he consider the received part from production department as purchase and returning from production department as purchase return. So this is little bit complex. I'm just talking about the manufacturing operation, not retail or resale. Yes. So that is the process you should understand about the manufacturing operation. And after this, I'll try to explain these two methods, how they are managing stock in store, because the store ledger is maintained in store, and how they are preparing or how to prepare these store ledgers. Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to discuss about store ledger. Store ledger, we do have two methods, FIFO and weighted average method. FIFO means the goods you received first would be sold first or would be transferred to the manufacturing department first, or we can say the oldest inventory would be sold first or transferred first. Then weighted average method, where you will find the issuing price or issuing cost, the average, then you will do the calculation accordingly. So those are the methods we do have. And when it comes to stock, we do have two different businesses which are related to the store ledger. So we are dividing the business into two. First one is retail or resale, and the second one is manufacturing. Means manufacturing would have their raw material in the store. Retail business would have their finished good in the store. right? So if it comes to retail business, issue means you are selling to the customer. When it comes to manufacturing, issue means you are issuing raw material to the production department. So that is very important point here. So when you are doing a question, when you are preparing a store ledger, you should understand to which business you are preparing. Yes. So I'm gonna have the format of store ledger. We have date, then we are divided into three. First one is receipt, which is what you received, and then issue, then you have the balance. Balance we can divide into two, and this one will be divided into three. So why we are dividing balance into two? Because when it comes to weight average method, generally we get the when generally we get the unit cost in decimal. So it is okay to have only two columns under balance, right? So receipt, we have unit, then CPU, that is cost per unit, and then value. Again, issue, we have units, cost per unit, and value. Here we have unit and value. We don't have issue, or we don't have cost per unit. So this is a general format we do have. Either retail business or manufacturing business, the format is same, right? So let's have an example, then I'll explain both the methods, then we do have questions. So in question we can check how it actually works and how to prepare the store ledger in both methods. Yes. So example, let's say we have balance stock on 1st of March, let's say 100 units at 20 rupees. So this balance means what? The balance in the store, not in the manufacturing plant, because the store ledger would be prepared by the storekeeper in store, not in manufacturing plant, right? So this balance is related to the stock which is available in the store, right? So I'm gonna show that as my opening balance. So opening balance is 100 units and each at 20, so my value is 2000, right? 100 into 20. Then let's say on 10th of March I purchase again 200 units at the price of 30, right? So I'll record that. 10th of March I received 200 units received at the price of 30, so amount is 6,000. So I'm going to put the balance here. So I had 100 earlier and I purchased 200, so my balance is 300. So I had a balance of 2,000, I purchased for 6,000, so my balance is fine. So purchasing is common, or the way we are recording purchase is common for both the methods. Now I'm going to show how FIFO method works. So once you purchase, what do you do? If it is manufacturing business, what they will do? They will issue to the manufacturing plant. And if it's retail business, what they will do? They will sell to the final customer. So both are mentioned, or both are called as issue. So depends on the business, you have to check whether they are issuing to the manufacturing plant or they are selling to the final customer. So let's say on 15th, they are issuing 150 units, right? So FIFO method. So FIFO method means what? So once you receive the goods you received first would be sold or would be issued to the manufacturing plant as first. So we give the priority based on the date which we received, right? So 150. So how are we gonna issue that? So first, which one has to be issued? We have to issue 100. Then we have to take it from this one, right? So when we are issuing on 15th, we can't directly put 150 here because we don't know the cost for 150. We're gonna take 100 from here, then 50 from here, right? Therefore, we have to show it separately. 100 units at 20 rupees. So 2000. So that is issued. Then we'll issue 50 units because my total is 150. I already issued 100 from here. Then I have to take 50 from this purchase. So 50 at what price? 30 rupees. So that is 1000. Right. In quantity, in units, so I had to put what is my balance. I had a balance of 300 and I issued 150. So my balance would be what? 150. Why? I had 300 minus 150. So my balance in store is 150, right? So what is my value? I had a value of 8,000 and I issued how much totally? 3,500. So what is my value? My balance is 4,500. So this is how we do in FIFO. Right. Clear? So in FIFO method, when we are issuing to the customer or to the manufacturing plant, you have to consider based on the date. You have to give the priority based on the date. In this scenario, I am issuing 150. I can't issue 150 from here. So I am taking 100 first at the price of 20 because the price we had is 20. Then I am taking from this one. I am taking 50, the remaining 50 at the price of 30. So this is how the FIFO method works. Yes. So that is the first part. First method. Right. The second method is weighted average method. So in the same example, let's assume this one is this transaction we gonna record in weighted average method. Earlier we had the transaction in FIFO method and this is how it works. Now I gonna show the same transaction in weighted average method. So question is same, the example is same. I am issuing 150, right? So the question they won't ask both the methods in one question. I'm just trying to explain the issuing part in different methods, right? So when it comes to question, you have to do either FIFO method or weighted average method. So we'll explain, or when we are doing the question, you can understand how it actually works. I am trying to explain in one picture, right? So weighted average method. So again I put the date 15th and I have to issue 150. So weighted average method, we have to go with the average cost. Therefore I don't worry about which one is the priority. I need to find my average cost on the date when we are issuing. I need to find the average cost on the date when we are issuing to the production plant or to the customer. Therefore, I don't divide like this. I just put the value, I just put the quantity as 150 and I had to find my cost per unit. So I have to get the cost per unit based on the balance I have. Based on the balance I have on the date of issue. So I have a balance of how much? 8,000. I have a balance of quantity how much? 300. So 8,300. So I had to find this one. I had to find this one based on balance divided by balance. Balance value divided by balance quantity. So in this example, on this date, right, after when you are having some other purchase and after that if you are having some issue again, you have to find in the same way, right? So in this example, for the first issue, I have a balance of 8,000 and I have a units of 300. So I had to find the unit cost, which is 26.6, right? So this is 26 and you will get the value here and the balance is as same as what we put. So 300 we had, 150 issued, so my balance is 150. So I had to find the value. How to find the value? I had a value of 8,000. I am issuing something, so the remaining is the value. Yes, so this is what you should understand. I have just explained both the methods in one example. First one is FIFO method and the second one is weighted average method. For the weighted average method, whenever there is an issue, you have to do the working and find the cost per unit. In your exam, hopefully they don't give a question in decimal, right? So the value with the cost per unit which you are finding would be in the round figure. Yes. So this is how the FIFO method and weighted average method works. So if it is retail, you should consider that as sales. Mean this issue is the cost which you are selling, that is what we call cost of sales. And if it is manufacturing business, this issue is considered as raw material purchase in manufacturing account, because I just explained the store ledger from the store's point of view, but manufacturing account is prepared by the accountant from production department. So from their point of view, this is considered as purchase. So that is how the FIFO method and weighted average method works. So I'll have an example which includes economic order quantity, reorder quantity as well. For example, in this question, how much we are purchasing? 200. 200 is what? It should be reorder quantity, because reorder quantity means what? The quantity you are purchasing in each order. So in this question, as per the example, the receipt quantity should be the reorder quantity. So that is the that is how you are connecting the economic order quantity, reorder quantity part with the what you call store ledger. So after this, I'll just share the question with you. So you can do the question, you can try out the question, then we'll discuss the answer for the question. Thank you. Right. So the first question is about a retail business where they are selling goods to the customer, right? So we have the balance of 100 units at 45 rupees. So balance is 100 units at 45, therefore my value is 4,500. That is straightforward. Then we have purchase of 300 on 2nd of March. 300 at 45 rupees. So how much? 13,500, right? Yeah. So here balance is 400 because I had 100 earlier and I purchased 300, therefore my balance is 400. I had a value of 4,500, I have 13,500, therefore it is 18,000. 13,500 plus 4,500, right? Yeah. Then I am issuing 200 on 5th. So how I gonna issue? I gonna issue 100 from this one or 100 from the opening balance, and then the remaining I gonna take it from second one, because this question is based on the FIFO method. So issuing 100 units at 45. So this is done now. Then again the remaining 100 from this one, again 45. So 4,500, 4,500. After the issue, my balance is, I had 400 earlier, I issued 200, therefore my balance is 200. I had a value of 18,000, I issued 9,000, therefore my balance is 9,000. Then we have purchase again on 10th. It is 800 into 60, so 48 and 30, 48,000. So I had a balance of 200, I purchased 800, so my balance is 1000. And I had a balance of 9,000 and 48,000 is the purchase, so 57,000. Then we are issuing 400 again on 15th. Right? So how are we going to issue 400? So this is done. The initial opening balance is done. Then I took 100 from here. Now I have to issue how much? 400. So I have to take remaining 200 from this, and the remaining 200 from here. So add 60. So this is 9,000. This is how much? 12,000, right? So total issue is 21,000. So 600 is my balance. I had 1,000 earlier. I issued 400. And my balance is 600. And I had a balance of 57,000 in value. And issue is 21. So how much? 20, 37, 30, 6,000. Right? Then again I am issuing on 21st. So 21st I am issuing again 400. So where are you going to take, because opening balance is done. This is also done. In here I took 200 earlier. Now I am going to take 400 from here. So I don't divide again like this, because I just took entire 400 from this 800 which I purchased on 10th of March. So 24,000. So 600 is my balance. I issue 400. So balance is 200. And 36 minus 12,000. So how much? 36 minus 24,000, sorry. So balance is 12,000. Then I am purchasing on 25th. How much? 600. Add 75. So 600 into 75, how much? 75, 150, 450, right? 45,000. Right? And 600 units I purchased, therefore my balance is 800. 45 plus 12, 50. So then I am issuing 400 on 30th. So how am I going to issue? So if I take this part, I already issued 200, again I issued 400. So 600 is done. I have remaining 200. So I take 200 from that and the other 200 from here. So 200 means 12,000. This is 15,000 if I am not wrong. So 27 is done. So my balance is 400, because I had earlier I had for 800. I issued 400. Balance is 400. I had a balance value of 57,000 and I issued how much? 27. So 30. So you can check with the balance. So I have balance of 400. This, since it is FIFO, I have to issue the one which I received first, right? So this 400 should be somewhere from this, right? Because all others I issued. So 400. So 400 at 75 it should be. So 400 into 75. Yeah, 30,000. So it should match with the value you have at the very end. Yes. So that is the first question. Second question is inventory value. So you can get it from here. So this is your inventory value. So second question answer is how much? 30,000. And third one. So in this scenario, we don't have inventory in the manufacturing plant. Why? Because this business is retail business. They are selling direct to the customer, from store to customer. So my stock, we do have only in store, right? Third question, cost of sales. So which is cost of sales? The cost of the goods sold, right? So which is sales here? The issue is the sales, because we are directly connect to customer and we are issuing to customer. So this is your cost of sales. So I'm just taking the total as cost of sales because this is the issue to the customer. Suppose in this question, if they are issuing back to where? So to whom else they can issue? There's a store, they are issuing to the customer as a sales. What else they can do? They are issuing back to supplier. If that is given, so we have to take that, we have to exclude that, right? So in this question we don't have any returns, we are not returning anything to the supplier, therefore I am taking the total. It is it is very important point you should understand that you can't take the total of issue in all the questions. In this question, since we don't have any issue back to supplier, since we don't have any purchase return back to supplier or any return back to supplier, I'm just taking the issue. So what is the total issue? 4,500, 9,000, 9, 18, 28, 30, 54, 54 plus 27. How much? 84, 80, 1,000. And next question. Gross profit, if all the stocks mentioned above will be sold at the price of 80. So your cost of sales is 81,000. So this is your cost of sales is 81,000. So you have to find the sales. So sales they are selling at 80 rupees. And how many quantity, what is the quantity they sold? So in this question, sales is what the issue. So 200, 400, 600, 1000, 1200, 1400. So they sold 1200. So your sales is how much? So this is their sales. This is for the retail business, not for the manufacturing business. That point is very, very important, right? So how much? I think it should be 31,000. The second question. So when you're reading the question, you should understand this question is based on the manufacturing business. So it means they are issuing the goods from store to the manufacturing plant, not to the customer. So if the question is like this, they don't ask you about the cost of sales, right? So this is about the stock, which is generally the raw material, and question is based on FIFO method. So we have the opening stock on April 1st. So 1st of April, we have balance of 100 units. Each has 30, so balance is 3,000. Then we are purchasing 200 on 3rd of April. So we are purchasing 200 at the price of 20, so 4,000. So my balance is 300. So 4,000 plus 3,000 is 7,000. Then I am issuing 150. So when I am issuing 150, I have to take 100 from here. So this is on 6th of April, right? So I have to take 100 from the opening balance and 50 from here. So 100 at 30, 50 at 20. So this is 3,000 and this is 1,000. So total is 4,000 we are issuing and quantity is 150. Therefore my balance also 150 and this is 3,000. 7,000 minus 4,000. Then I am purchasing again 600 units at 30 rupees on 15th. So 15th I am purchasing 600 at 30 rupees. So 18,000 and this is 750 and this is 21. So 18 plus 3,000. Then I am issuing 250 on 18th. So 250 I have to issue. So the opening balance is done. From here I took 50. So I have a balance of 150 from here and 100 from here. So 150 into 20, 100 into 30. So this is 3,000. Again this is also 3,000. So total 250 is done. So balance is 500. 6,000 is done. My balance is 15,000. So here you can check now because this is entirely done. Out of 600, I think 100 is done. So the balance 500 should be based on this price only because all others are completed, all others are issued, right? Fine. So 250 is done. Then again I am issuing 150 on 21st. Sorry, I am issuing 100. So 100 I is supposed to issue from this one because all others are done. So again 3,000. So balance is 400 and this is how much? 12,000, right? Then I am purchasing 400 on 26th at the price of 40. So 16,000. So how much? So the balance is 800 and this is 28,000. Then 27th, which is return from production, right? So who is doing this? This is prepared by the storekeeper in store. So this is return from production, mean for the store, what is it? It is receipt, they are receiving, right? So they are receiving how much? On 27, they are receiving 100. So whenever they are giving a return from production, they should mention the price or mention the transaction date. So in this example, so the issue happened on 21st. So this one. So at 30, right? So we are getting 3000, right? Yeah. So now the balance is 900 and 31,000. So what they will do now? What the store will do? Store will send back to the supplier, but in this question that is not given. So maybe they may send that in next month, right? So 28th again they are issuing. 28th they are issuing how much? 50 unit. At what price? At what price? I think from this one, right? Yeah. So 850, and this is how much? 29. So how 850 comes? Just for additional knowledge. 850 from 400 at 40. This is not issued at all. 16,000. The balance 450 obviously from this price, right? So how much? So this is how we got the closing stock. The second requirement is inventory value as at the 30th April 2020. So in this question, this is based on the manufacturing business where they have stock in store as well as in the manufacturing plant. But the question, they didn't say anything about the stock available at the manufacturing plant. Therefore, the stock, the inventory value as at 30th April 2020 is 29,500, right? And third question, raw material consumed for the month of April 2020. So raw material consumed from where? From the manufacturing department. So raw material consumed is linked to the manufacturing account chapter, and you should know how to find it. So raw material consumed, right? Opening stock, purchase, return, and closing stock. So that is a basic way of finding raw material consumed. So opening stock and closing stock from where? From the manufacturing department. In this question, they didn't mention anything about the stock available at the manufacturing department. Therefore, I put opening stock and closing stock as 0. Right? So purchase. So in manufacturing department, what is purchase? The issue. Right? The issue is considered as purchase. So the total issue is what? This is the total issue, right? So this total issue in this question, is it only for the manufacturing department or for the supplier as well? Or are we returning something to supplier? No, right? So total issue is considered as purchase. So how much? 3, 6, 7, 10, 13, 14,500. Right? 3, 6, 9, 10, yeah. Then purchase return. So whenever you are preparing format to find the raw material consumed, it is the best practice to put purchase return as well, otherwise we'll forget it. Yes. So purchase return. Do we have any purchase return? Are we the manufacturing department is returning something to the store? Yes. Which one? This one. This is a purchase return from manufacturing department to the store. So how much? That is 3,000. So my raw material consumed is how much? 11,500. So that is the answer for the third question. So this is very important. Raw material consumption from what you call store ledger, and the way we are finding the raw material consumed is important. Fourth one, what is the reorder quantity of the business? So reorder quantity means what? The quantity which we are purchasing. In this question, we have different quantities we purchased. First, the initial purchase is 200, then 600, then 400. It means what? This business, still they haven't decided the EOQ, right? So whatever they are purchasing is considered as reorder quantity. So the answer for the fourth question, this is the second question answer, this is the third one and the fourth one. So the quantity they are purchasing, 200, then 600, then 400. So this is not the purchase. So they have 3 orders, right? So this is just for understanding. Normally I'll ask you a question to find reorder quantity in such a question like this, right? There are some questions where they are purchasing the exact same quantity in each order. Means what? They have decided their EOQ. And the last requirement, which is average raw material consumption in units for a day, right? So which is consumption? So consumption value is 11,500, which we found in the third question, right? So this question is like average consumption in units for a day. So you have, if you find the units of this, then if you divide that by 30, then you will get the average for a day, right? So purchase, this purchase is what? Issue, right? Issue in store ledger. So what is the total issue? 150, 300, 400, 500, 550. So this is 550. So this is for the fifth question. And what is the purchase return? We have 100. So 100 minus. So my units is how much? 450. So 450 is the total units which we consumed for the month, and the question is for a day. So answer is 450 divided by 30 and how much? 15 units for a day. So that is the answer for the question. So in this question, I related reorder quantity, I related raw material consumption in production department and the units for a day consumption. Third question, the requirement is again store ledger but based on the weighted average method. In this question, they have given additional information. In additional information, it is the raw material balance in production plant is given. We don't have to consider about that. Why? Because the store ledger is prepared by storekeeper who doesn't know about the stock available at the production plant. So to prepare the store ledger, we're going to use the information from the table only, not the additional information. So additional information will be used to find the answers for the other questions, right? So opening balance is 200 on April 1st at 200 rupees. So my value is 40,000. Then I purchased 400 at 300 rupees. So 2nd of April I purchased 400 units at 300 each, that is 120,000. So 120,000 means 600 here and 160,000, right? Yeah. Then there's a return. This return is to whom? Return to supplier from the store, right? So that is on 12th. So they are returning to supplier because of the damage maybe they had earlier. So they are returning 100. So they have to mention about the cost for the return all the time. So in this question they mentioned this was purchased in March last month at the price of 200. So this is 200. So 220,000. So 500 and how much? 140,000. Right? Then what? Then there's an issue on 14th. 14th, 4th. They are issuing to whom? To the production department. So they are issuing 300 units. So they are issuing 300 units. So you have to find the cost per unit. How to find? 140,000 divided by 500. The issue cost. Right, this is the first one. So 140,000 divided by 500. How much? 280. right? So 280 is the issue cost. So 84,000. So once we issue this, balance is 200 and how much? 56,000. Then 16 we have purchase 400 into 400, 160,000. So balance is 600. So 216. Then we have issue again on 24th of 100 units. Again we have to find the issue price, the second issue price, which is 216,000 divided by 600, this by this. So we have to find the issue price based on the date which we are giving, which the issue, when the issue happened. So here how much? 360. So this is into 360. So 36,000, right? Yeah. So 500. So 36,000 if we deduct from this 180. So that is the issue on 24th. Then 26th, there is a return from the production plant. So production plant is returning to the store and units is given. So that is receipt for the store. So this was issued in 14. So 14 we issued at 280 rupees. So this is the return to the store. So now balance is 600 and how much? 208. Then again 28 there is a purchase of 400 into 400. So again 160,000. Balance is 1000 and 368,000. Then there is an issue of 300 on 29. So 300 they are issuing. Price we have to find 368,000 divided by 1000, which is 368. So we issued at 368. How much? Something like this, right? So balance is 700. $600. So 257,600 is my closing stock. Okay, the second requirement, raw material consumption for the month, right? So raw material consumption, we have the same working: opening stock, purchase return and closing stock. So in this question, opening stock and the closing stock at production department is given. So opening stock is 350 into 200, right? Yeah, 350 into 200. How much? 70,000. And closing stock is 300 into 100. Yes. So you can't find opening and closing stock in the manufacturing department from the store ledger, because store ledger is prepared in the store by the storekeeper, and the stock available at the production plant or production department is not related to the store ledger, right? So in the question they should give the stock availability or the available stock in the production department. So opening stock and closing stocks are given, so I just put the balances there. Then I had to find the purchase and purchase return. So purchase is generally issue, but if we check this, right, we have the first one. This issue is not for the production plant, this issue to the supplier. We are returning back to the supplier. So these are the issue we do have, these three. So purchase is, I would say, 84,000. plus 36 plus 110 8 for 90 120 222 30 400, right? 84,000 first issue, then we have 36, so 90 120, then 110 400, so 230,400 is my purchase. Then I have to check whether there is any purchase return. Purchase return mean the return from the production department to store, so that should be there in the receipt column. So receipt column, normally receipt part normally consider normally it has two different transactions. One is the goods received from the supplier and the other one is goods returned back from the production plant. In this question, do we have any return from the production plant? Yes, that is 100 units, this one, right? So that is 28,000 minus. So you'll get the value here, raw material consumed. And third question is economic order quantity. Economic order quantity we do calculate using the formula, but in this question we don't have enough information to get the answer using the formula, right? So we already prepared the store ledger, and economic order quantity means the quantity we are receiving in each order at the least cost. So in this question, from the store ledger we got to know this is what we are receiving in each slot, 400. 100 is not what we received, because this is from where? From returning from production plant, right? So 400 is what we received. So we assume that as EOQ, right? In the last question, there was a requirement to find reorder quantity. Why I asked in such a way? Because in that question, the received quantity is not same. First time they receive 100, then 200, like that, it varies. So we can't use the word economic order quantity. In this question, it is exactly same. So we can assume that the business already decided the economic order quantity. Therefore, 400 is your economic order quantity. Fourth question is reorder level. So what does reorder level means? Generally, how to find reorder level? That is maximum consumption into maximum lead time, right? In this question, they didn't say anything about maximum lead time, and also maximum consumption is also not given in the question, right? So what does reorder level mean? Reorder level means there's a store and they are issuing raw material to the production department. Once they reach certain level, which is already defined, so once they reach that level, they will make an order to the supplier, right? So we had to find that level from the store ledger we have. So balance, if you check balance column, we had 200, then we received 400, then we had 600, like that, right? So it is moving. Received, then we issued, then again issue, like that, right? So when we received on 16th and on 28th, right? So we received the goods on 16th and 28th. Why we receive? How we received? We should have made an order. When we made an order? In this question, they gave the lead time as 4 days. That is a second additional information. So if we received the goods on 16th, when we made the order? 12th, because lead time is 4 days. Why we made the order? Because my stock level, it reached that specific certain level. So if I get the value, if I get the balance stock on the 12th, that is what we call reorder level. So second example, we received on 28th. When we made an order? 4 days back, mean 24th. So I need to find the value, I need to find the quantity on 24th, right? So here 28th, if I go back to 24th, my quantity is 500. So what happened? So once I reached 500, I made call and made a new order. So it took 4 days to receive the goods, right? So 4 days is given in the question. And we receive on this date also, which is 2nd of April. When we made the order? Last month, maybe 30th or somewhere of March. Do we have the balance on 30th? No. So 30th our balance might be 500. So we called and we made the order. So that is how we are finding the reorder level from the store ledger. These are units, right? Fifth question is average raw material consumption, units and values. So we already have the total consumption 240 to 400. I have to find the total consumption in units first, right? So what is my opening stock? Units, that is 350, and closing stock units is 100, which is given in the addition information. I have to find the purchase. So purchase is 100. This is not purchase, right? Yeah. Purchase is 300, 100 and 300. So purchase means purchase in manufacturing plant, which is issue in the store. So total purchase is 700, and purchase return we do have 100. So this one is 850. So we have to find for a day. So fifth question, units is 850 divided by 30. I think we get the answer in decimal, right? And for the value, we already have 240 to 400 divided by 30. How much? That is 808, right? Yeah. So that is the consumption in units and value for a day. Last question, total inventory of the business. So this question is important. Why? Because total inventory means the inventory in both the places. Last question, we didn't have the inventory in the store, in the manufacturing plant. In this question, we have inventory in store, which is how much? 257,600, and we have inventory in the production plant, that is 30,000. So total inventory of the business is 287,600. Last question, I didn't have any inventory in my production plants, then therefore I just put the closing stock as it is, right? In this question I have to add the stock in the production plant with the stock in the store. So these questions are very important to understand the chapter. So these are the answers for the question I have shared. After this, I'll just have the summary of the entire chapter, which is material costing. Yes? Fine. This is the entire summary of the material costing chapter. So I have introduced the two costs related to material costing, which are ordering cost, total ordering cost and total holding cost, and the formula for that, right? Number of orders into cost per order, and holding cost per unit into ROQ or EOQ divided by 2. Why divided by 2? Because you have to get the average, right? Then this is how the normal business starts its operation. After some time, they get to know they're planning to reduce the cost. So they are coming up with the idea to find EOQ. So economic order quantity is the number of units in each order to minimize the total cost. So total cost would be less. Total cost means what? Total ordering cost plus total holding cost. So there are three methods to find the economic order quantity or EOQ. First one is table. So they don't ask you to fill the table, but you should know how to find the value from the table. And the second one is equation, 2D CO over CH. This 2D is for a year, and ordering cost is for one order, not the total, and holding cost is for one unit. Graph, we do have two different graphs. X-axis is important. If x-axis is quantity, your quantity in each order increases. So if quantity in each order increases, your holding cost will increase. Likewise, you have to find you should know how to fill or how to mark the lines in the graph, right? So that is about the EOQ. Then after they calculate the EOQ, the business would try to maintain their stock using their stock levels. So I introduced stock levels. Before that, you should know the understanding of this, or you should know the meaning of these words. Reorder level. Reorder level means what? At some point, the business would call and make the order. That certain level is called as reorder level. So whenever they are reaching that level, they will make a call and they will make the order from the supplier. Lead time means what? If I make an order today, I may need 5 days to receive the goods to my store. That 5 days is called as lead time. It would vary, but we assume that as a constant, right? Then the graph. So we do have maximum reorder level and lead time. So if you just check the graph, our units is reducing. It means we are issuing the raw material to the production plant. So once we reach the level 600, we make the order to the supplier. Then again we'll issue to the production department. So on this date we receive the new goods, that means new raw material. So that is why the graph goes up, right? So that is, this part is called as EOQ. So likewise the stock would move from store to the production department. Then stock levels, you should know the equation, you should know the formula to do the questions. First one is reorder level, maximum consumption. Consumption means what? The usage of raw material in production department, right? And into maximum lead time. Lead time means what? The days which it takes to receive the goods from the supplier, means the gap between the order date and receive date. So maximum consumption and maximum lead time. Minimum stock level equals to reorder level minus average consumption into average lead time. Then other formulas as well. So what is important when you are doing or when you are calculating using the formula, if this is given in week, this also should be for a week. If they give this in month, this maximum consumption also should be in month. So that is the stock level we do have. Then I introduce a store ledger. Store ledger is prepared from where? From the store by the storekeeper. We do have two methods to prepare the store ledger. So what is important? The finding the issue cost, because purchase or receiving part is not a matter. It is like just fill the table or fill the store ledger. But issuing is important. When you are issuing from the FIFO, you have to get the one which you received first, because when you are selling or when you are sending the goods to the production plant, you have to prioritize based on the date it is received, right? Weighted average method, you have to find the weighted average cost on the specific day when you are issuing. So there's a small formula to find the unit cost for the issue when we are doing the question in the weighted average method. So those are two store ledger we have. So this is a process of a manufacturing plant. There is a supplier who is issuing the goods to store. This is called as EOQ or ROQ, which we are receiving. Then we are issuing to the store, and if there are any damage from the production department, they will return back and we will return back to the supplier, right? So store ledger will be prepared from here and manufacturing account will be prepared from the production department. So when it comes to raw material consumption, which is prepared from the manufacturing account, so opening stock means the stock in the manufacturing department, not the stock in the store, because the manufacturer or the accountant doesn't know about the stock which they have in the store. They know the stock which they have in the manufacturing department. So opening stock is that. Purchase is what? The goods received to the manufacturing department from where? From the store. It means in the store ledger, the issue is considered as the purchase. And purchase return, you are deduct. Then closing stock, you are deduct the stock in the not in the warehouse, it is in the production department, and you get the raw material consumed. Other than that, we find the raw material consumption for a day. If we get the raw material consumption in units, if we divide by the number of days in a month, then we'll get the answer for a day. Yes, so this is the chapter, the whole chapter of material costing. So we will catch up with the new chapter in the next video. Thank you so much, guys.